Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. Now the news in full. President Bola Tinubu has called for a comprehensive revaluation of global governance, financial structure and health systems, advocating for a fuller, more inclusive world order that truly reflects the interests of emerging and low-income economies, particularly in Africa. Speaking at the 7th BRICS Summit of the Global South in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Tinubu warned that global challenges like environmental degradation, climate change and healthcare inequality continue to hinder sustainable development, especially across the African continent. The summit, hosted by Brazil President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, was Nigeria's first participation as an official BRICS partner country, following its admission into the bloc on January 17, 2025. The Senate has passed a bill mandating all raw material to undergo a minimum of 30% local processing before they are exported from Nigeria. The decision followed the adoption of the report by the Senate Committee on Science and Technology on the amendment of the Raw Material Research and Development Council Act 2022. The bill, sponsored by Senator Onyeka Chinwa Ebonyi, representing Ebonyi North, seeks to promote value addition, strengthen the local manufacturing sector, reduce reliance on imports, and stimulate sustainable economic growth. The Nigerian Labour Congress, that is NLC, has cautioned those seeking to remove labour provisions in the Constitution from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent list to perish the idea. The call followed a public hearing held on the review of the 1999 Constitution across the 6 geopolitical zones in the country. The Congress also vowed that moves by those who want to further impoverish Nigerian workers would be resisted, stating that labor issues must remain in exclusive legislative list to avert negative implications for workers and the economy. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Labour Congress has called for an unconditional and immediate release of all withheld local government allocations to the lawfully elected government in Osun State. This was contained in a communique issued after the meeting of the Congress National Administrative Council and the Central Working Committee held in Abeokuta, Ogun State capital. The body also asked the Attorney General to retract all unlawful directives to federal financial institutions and cease further politicization of local government autonomy. Senator Natasha Akpoti-Odoahen, chairman of the Senate Committee on Diaspora and Non-Governmental Organization, NGOs, has announced she will resume legislative duties Tuesday, following a court judgment nullifying her suspension. Addressing jubilant supporters in a video circulating on social media, the Kogi Central lawmaker expressed gratitude for their steadfast backing. A federal high court sitting in Abuja had ruled that her 6-month suspension from the Senate was excessive, unconstitutional, and a violation of the rights of her constituents, ordering her immediate reinstatement. Meanwhile, the Senate has acknowledged the court judgment on Senator Natasha Akpoti-Odoahen, but noted it was yet to receive the certified true copy, that is CTC, of the judgment. The chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Yemi Adaramodu, said this in a statement in Abuja. Adaramodu said the certified true copy of the judgment was necessary for a thorough review and informed determination of the next course of action, stating that pending receipt of the certified true copy, the Senate would refrain from taking any step that might prejudice its legal position regarding Akpoti-Oduaghan's suspension. The chairman of Senate Committee on Appropriation, Senator Solomon Adeola, says the National Assembly has a duty to ensure that no part of the country is neglected in terms of history, represented by his media advisor, Kayode Odunaro, in a statement said this while addressing and delivering a lecture on the role of legislature in shaping a holistic budget for Nigeria at the second annual retreat of the Remo Traditional Council in Shagamu, Ogun State. The legislator said the National Assembly's budget to ensure all zones of squabble in 4 strategic local government areas in the southern part of Adamawa State. The factional crisis is tearing the party apart in Ganye local government area, where the band is a part of a series of outreach efforts by the governor to provide updates on his administration's policy and progress while gathering feedback from citizens living abroad. You're watching the live broadcast of Midday News. When Midday News returns, Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited cuts petrol price to 910 naira per litre in Abuja. Details of business where at least 10 Nigerian states collectively increased their domestic debt by 417.7 billion naira year-on-year, despite a significant rise in revenue allocations from the federal on subnational debt reveals that Rivers, Enugu, Niger, Taraba, Bauchi, Benue, Gombe, Edo, Kwara, and Nasarawa raised their combined debt stock from 884.9 billion naira in Q1 2024 to 1.3 trillion naira in Q1 2025. This represents a 47.2% year-on-year increase, raising questions about fiscal prudence and the long-term sustainability of borrowing at the state level. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company, that is NNPC Limited, has reportedly cut its selling price of petrol in Abuja. The change coincided with the drop in global oil prices, with Brent crude dropping to $65.30 per barrel as of 4th June. NNPC Limited retail outlets sold the product for as low as 910 naira per litre in Abuja, which means petrol is now 35 naira cheaper than the previous price of 945 naira per litre. U.S. President Donald Trump has lashed out at the 11 nations of BRICS, vowing to impose an extra 10% tariff on the grouping that includes Brazil, Russia, India, and China. In a post on his Truth social platform, the U.S. president noted that any country aligning themselves with the anti-American policy of BRICS will charge an additional 10% tariff, insisting that there will be no exemption to this policy. Now let's take you to the foreign scene, where the United States President Donald Trump has slammed former ally Elon Musk launching of a new political party. The world's richest man was also inseparable from Trump as he headed the cost-cutting department of government efficiency. But they fell out hard over the president's and spending mega bill. Musk says the president's massive domestic spending plan would explode the United States to do everything in its power plant in Houthi-controlled area of Yemen, prompting the rebel group to fire more missiles toward Israeli territory. The Israel military said it had struck the ports of Hadiyada, Rasika, and Aslafi of the Red Sea coast, as well as the Ras Kati power plant. The military also noted that it struck a radar system on the Galaxy ladder shape which was seized by the Houthis and docked in the port of Hadiada. In the meantime, after 21 months of war, there are growing hope of a new Gaza ceasefire announcement as Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu meets U.S. President Donald Trump in Washington. Trump said he had been very firm. In Ikeme, Ogun State. Head coach Eric Chelle has invited an initial 35 players to camp for the tournament, which will be played from August 2. League club until June 2028. The 28-year-old fullback joined Forest in 2023 on a one-year deal following the expiration of his contract with Italian side Torino. He made an immediate impact, featuring regularly at left back as the club narrowly avoided relegation in his first season. Meanwhile, Forest activated a one-year extension clause in Aino's contract in May 2024 after securing their Premier League status. The new long-term deal now reflects the club's continued faith in the defender's consistency and versatility. Nigerian quarter Mila Imobong Nseiko has blamed the Athletic Federation of Nigeria for her recent 2-year suspension, accusing body of. In a statement posted on her social media, the 2021 World Under-20 triple gold medalist described the situation as a product of flawed system and a corrupt federation that has failed to support her when she needed it most. Uko's name appeared on the Athletes Integrity Unit's June 2025 sanction list, which showed the 21-year-old had been banned for violation committed on June 5, 2024. That's it on Global TV Midday News. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Thank you for watching.